שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Let's hear it. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, shalom aleikum, shalom aleichem, shalom aleikum, shalom aleichem, shalom aleikum, shalom aleichem, shalom aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad.
So many of us watched the inauguration on Wednesday. What a beautiful week. What a beautiful Shabbat we are bringing in. And much of that inauguration was accompanied by ASL, by American Sign Language. So we invite you, Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom.
Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
So many reasons for hope this week: the increase of light, the increase of possibility. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah b'kodsho, Hallelujah b'rkiauzo, Hallelujah b'gvurotav. Hallelujah kerov gudlo, Hallelujah b'tek hashofar, Hallelujah b'nevel v'chino. Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah b'tof u'machol, Hallelujah b'minim behugav, Hallelujah b'tziltzilei shaman, Hallelujah b'tziltzilei truah, kol hanshama tehallel yah. Hallelujah.
This week, so many of us felt a lifting up, a liberation from fear, a raising up to light and to goodness. Marianne Williamson writes, and I invite you to, if you wish, to close your eyes, to imagine light. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And when we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. We take a moment of quiet to see that light within as we prepare in a moment to light Shabbat candles.
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say, Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say, Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Lecha Dodi welcomes in the presence of Shabbat. Take a moment to, if you share your space with others, take a moment to wish them Shabbat Shalom. And take a moment to call or text someone Shabbat Shalom. Reach out. We are all connected in this web of love. Lecha Dodi page 10.
לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המלכה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ונתילה לך אדוני לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך אדוני לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבת תחילה לך אדוני לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך אדוני לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי בא אורך קומי הרי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלי לא לך אדוני לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך אדוני לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה שלום עטרת בעלה ימי בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך אדוני לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך אדוני לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה
If you wish, remain standing, or if you wish, rise in anticipation of the Baruch Hu. The Chatzi Kaddish is on page 15.
יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה וילמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו אמן יהי שמי רב המבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן ביעלמה ויאמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם
Page 17, noting the increase, the visible increase of light. Blessed are you, eternal our God, source of the universe, whose word brings on the evening. Your wisdom opens heaven's gates. Your understanding makes the ages pass and the seasons alternate. And your will controls the stars as they travel through the skies. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. You cause day to pass and bring on the night. You set day and night apart. You are the God of all. May the living and eternal God rule us always till the end of time. Blessed is the eternal, whose word makes evening fall.
כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We are seated. Page 21, Mi Chamocha is a song that we have sung for thousands of years and hundreds of melodies. This gives me an opportunity to say that the biblical text, the Torah text from which Mi Chamocha comes, is the Torah reading next week for Shabbat Shirah, the Shabbat of the Song of the Sea. Services next Friday night of the Shabbat of the Song will be preceded by a congregational meeting at 6 o'clock. And you've received or will receive a Zoom link for that service, not for the service will be live streamed, for the congregational meeting right before, in which the congregation has the chance to formally elect Daniel Mendelson as our cantor. We encourage you to send in your proxy vote, your proxy form this week in anticipation of that annual meeting. If you are able to join the meeting, you won't need the proxy vote, but it'll be there in case you can't make it, and we'll ensure that we have a quorum. Frankly, I'm not worried about a quorum because there's so much joy. Mi Chamocha, page 21.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוספת. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע מלפני משה ומרים, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע מלפני משה ומרים, זה לי, אנו ויאמרו, אדוני מלוך, לעולם, לעולם בוער, יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגייलो מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל
Some say that in the beginning, all was love. And some called that love God. If God was love, there was a problem, because there was only God. And so in this story, God contracts into God's self to make space for other. And the other is you and me and this universe. So that God would have something and someone to be in covenant with to increase the love in the universe. Few things in Jewish life are called a sign of that covenant. Shabbat is one of them. Vishamru, page 22.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Liturgy or prayer is the acting out of the things we believe. So if we believe that life is on purpose, that life is purposeful, that life is for joy, that there is joy underneath it all, then that's the world we create through our prayer and through this beautiful, jubilant music. We stand together for the Amidah, or rise in the place where Spirit rises in us. Page 22.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו נשעני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. סלאם עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלאם, שלום. סלאם עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלאם, שלום. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. היו, 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 היו,
This Shabbat, our rabbinic intern, Noah Lawrence, shares reflections about this week's parasha from his home in D.C.
Shabbat Shalom. I hope you and yours are staying well and healthy. This week is the penultimate parsha in the sequence of the Exodus from Egypt. Next week, we read the final portion, when the children of Israel crossed through the Red Sea to freedom. We have all pictured the parting of the sea many times, with or without Charlton Heston. But this Shabbat, Parshat Bo calls us to picture the moments just before that grand, momentous day. To step into the shoes of our ancestors not as they strode forth into liberation, but rather as they endured the last days of our enslavement. Days of daring to hope. Days that had not yet changed. Days of waiting. 2 weeks before the children of Israel go out of Egypt, we find these verses. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe ve'el Aharon be'eretz Mitzrayim lemor. And the Eternal One said to Moshe and Aharon, Moses and Aaron, in the land of Egypt, saying, HaChodesh hazeh lachem rosh chodashim, rishon hu lachem lechodshei hashana. This month shall be to you the head of the months. First shall it be to you of the months of the year. What's happening here? On the simplest level, God is giving the children of Israel for the first time their own calendar. God tells Moshe and Aharon that this new moon, at the turn of winter to spring, will be set apart and sacred. In ancient Israel, this first of the month of Nisan will become the new year of kings, the political new year, the spring counterpart to autumn's Rosh Hashanah, the general new year. Yet, there is more going on here. Let's envision what it looked like, felt like, for Moshe and Aharon. They're in Egypt, in the desert. It's night. Except for the sliver moon's gleam, it is pitch black. The stars, minuscule white flames. The quiet flows around them like the wind. And then Moshe and Aharon hear God's voice saying, this month. Imagine Moshe saying to Aharon, I can't bear that after all these meetings confronting Pharaoh, the people are still enslaved. In the morning, they'll have to get right back to slavery, as if nothing's changed. Aharon says, yeah, but Moshe, we know what's about to change. We're getting out of here. This life that's been happening and happening to us, it's actually going to stop. This moment is the small start of something big. Moshe says, that's why God wants us to have our own calendar for a new era when we can control our own time, when we are free. And we did become free. But it did not happen all at once. Both of those things are true. Neither cancels out the other. It was excruciatingly step by step. And we did become free. What happened after freedom? Just as the course of events leading up to the Red Sea was long and arduous, so too it was a long, arduous path afterward. It turns out the children of Israel would need a calendar not only for a free new era, but to navigate all they would face in all the eras to come, including new troubles. There's a midrash that says 10 are the songs of the Bible. It turns out those before us loved top 10 lists too. The first song is the one the children of Israel sing on the night of the first Pesach in this week's Parsha, when the people eat lamb and await freedom. The Midrash finds a hint of such a song when the book of Isaiah describes a song like a night of sanctifying a feast. The second song is Shirat Hayam, the song of the sea, as we'll read next week, when the children of Israel finally go free. A song of jubilation, liberation, euphoria, utopia. But this list of 10 songs directs our gaze far past the Red Sea, through the wilderness, and all along the timeline of the rest of the Torah and the full Tanakh, the full Bible. There are 8 more songs coming. There's the song of triumph in battle, sung by Joshua. Another victory song, sung by Deborah. Still another, sung by David, and more. So on the one hand, the children of Israel will have more victories, but they will also continue to need victories. They will again enter states of danger and suffering, and they will again need rescue. The 9th of these 10 songs is less well known, yet perhaps the most poignant one. The battle song of King Jehoshaphat, David's successor 5 times removed. The song goes, Hodu l'Adonai ki le'olam chasto. Give thanks to the Eternal One, for forever is his kindness. The Midrash points out that this battle song alters the classic refrain, Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, ki le'olam chasto. Give thanks to the Eternal One, for he is good, for forever is his kindness. King Jehoshaphat deleted, for he is good. Why? The Midrash answers, it is as if to say there was no joy before him on high over the perishing of the wicked. And if over the deaths of the wicked there was no joy before him on high, how much more so over the righteous? Centuries had gone by since the crossing of the Red Sea. Yet the children of Israel were still wrestling with core dilemmas of the human condition, like the awareness that even in a legitimate struggle, such as a just war, we may not be able to avoid killing and facing death. And each human life is of infinite worth to God, even our enemies. The loss of life is always an infinite loss. The 10th and final song is the song La'atid Lavo, of the future to come, when we can at last sing with infinitely full spirits, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, sing to the Eternal One a new song, the new song of a new world, a world more just, more peaceful and safe, more joyful, more loving, more holy. And the Midrash promises we will get there. The Torah teaches us that redemption is not a thing that happens once. Redemption is work that we do and keep doing for ourselves and for others. When redemption slides back, it is time to cross out of Egypt anew and redouble our efforts and devotion to that journey. We are always crossing out of Egypt and through the wilderness and toward the promised land. Yet, we are not merely marching in place. Judaism gives us the sacred chutzpah to know we can approach that promised land and get closer and closer still, and one day truly get there. In the meantime, that sense of journey also gives us validation and solidarity. It reminds us that when we sense that the work of redemption is falling short, we are not making it up, and we are not alone. We are part of a journey broader than any of us, and we are in it together. Imagine now if Moshe and Aharon, after they die and reach paradise beyond this world, receive from God the chance to go back to that night of the new moon at the turn of winter to spring. They see themselves much younger, talking together, their grins white flames like the stars, eager for that journey through the Red Sea. What would they tell their younger selves? Would they say, "Don't bother with the journey. It's too hard. It's impossible. Whether you have your own calendar or not, it's just not worth it"? The elder Moshe and Aharon would know that these two brothers in their prime were about to begin a journey that is indeed hard, at times brutally hard. And yet, that hard journey holds the opportunity of getting to a better place, to a promised land, to milk and to honey, and l'chaim, to life. How can that not be worth all that it takes? Imagine elderly Moshe and Aharon hearing those two brothers in their prime saying, "This moment is the small start of something big." Maybe their older selves respond, "Yes, it is. This is a start." I wish I could say it were the end of all trouble. It's not. Deborah will face trouble. David will face trouble. Yet thanks to what began here with you in this desert under this new moon, those who come after you will face profoundly less trouble and more and greater blessings. They will not be enslaved. They will have their own land. One day, there may yet be an ultimate end to all trouble. But where does an end come from? From a start. And young Moshe and Aharon respond, "A start. The start of something. I can work with that. I can make something out of that. That can see me through." We are living right now amid a moment not so different from that of Moshe and Aharon under that desert new moon. The vaccine is rolling out, not perfect, yet rolling out. A beginning. There is a fresh start, a new landscape in Washington. Our small start comes amid great difficulties. In our national life and the ways it affects our lives, we have been living with so much that is poisonous in ways both literal and figurative, and it has taken a profound toll, a fatal toll. These past months, we have so yearned for a better time and a better world. And now? The modern Irish poet Seamus Heaney spoke of a moment when hope and history rhyme, a favorite verse of President Biden. Perhaps now, in our moment in our country, amid these parshiot of the story of the Exodus, hope and the Torah can rhyme. We know our moment is not the end of these problems. It is certainly not the end of all problems. We too have a long and difficult path ahead of us. And at the same time, Judaism gives to us, as to those who came before us, that sacred chutzpah to know we truly can get to a better place. We can work to reach that better place. We can approach it and get closer and closer still. We will one day sing Shir Chadash, a new song. And for now, may our moment be the start of something, maybe even something big. And as we move into what lies ahead, may this beginning see us through. Shabbat Shalom, wishing you and yours good health and healing of all kinds.
Or yavo shalom aleinu, or yavo shalom aleinu, or yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Or yavo shalom aleinu, or yavo shalom aleinu, or yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Or yavo shalom aleinu, or yavo shalom aleinu, or yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Or yavo shalom aleinu, or yavo shalom aleinu, or yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.
Opening our hearts to possibility and to healing, we take a moment wherever we are to name those in need of healing as we turn together to page 33.
Beirach avoteinu mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishebeirach imoteinu mekor habracha lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We invite you to rise or to rise in the place where spirit rises, Aleinu on page 36.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge, this is our country, spoke Reverend Beeman on Wednesday. Teach us, O God, teach us to live in it, loving it, be healed in it, and reconciled to one another in it, lest we miss kingdom's goal. By Yom Hahu, on that day, the eternal will be one and God's name will be one, in the strong name of our collective faith. Amen. Hallelujah.
ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We are seated. It is with pleasure that I invite Michael Zweig, representing our temple's officers and Board of Trustees, to step forward for our Shabbat greetings and announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. It is indeed a special privilege for me as well to be here, very sweet, on this Shabbat of renewed hope and expectation and joy. There are exciting times at the temple as well. Our board and your leadership is talking about what Kol Ami is going to look like, let's say, post-pandemic. And we're planning, we're taking suggestions. If anyone has thoughts, please don't hesitate to contact any temple officer or trustee. Getting to the announcements, and I'll try to be as brief as possible. Please join us for Saturday morning's study and lift service. Also on Saturday at 8 p.m., we have musical mindfulness Havdalah with rabbinic intern Noah Lawrence. On Sunday, you're invited to join Sisterhood at 1 p.m. for a challah baking program led by Pat Grossman. I am told it's going to be an extraordinary program with wonderful, wonderful tips about how to bake challah. Looking a bit further ahead, you'll join us hopefully on Friday, January 29th for a very special Shabbat. As you heard, our evening will begin at 6 p.m. with the election of Cantor Danny. It will be one of the least contested and most joyous elections of the year. And it will conclude with a unique, after services of course, a unique Around the Shabbat Table program entitled The Rabbi's Gambit. The evening will feature Rabbi Leonid Feldman, and during the program, you'll hear about how Rabbi Feldman, who was a child chess prodigy in the former Soviet Union, moved from chess competition to imprisonment, to resistance, to becoming a rabbi. Quite a story. Men's study group will resume later this month, led by rabbinic intern Noah Lawrence. The theme for the series is ethical masculinity, discussing and celebrating being a Jewish man in today's world. The first session will begin via Zoom on January 31 at 7:45 p.m. Looking forward to February, 2 events. First, starting on February 13th, Saturday, Dr. Ellen Yomansky will be again leading an adult or a discussion for everyone, and this time a three-part discussion on the fight for women's suffrage. The course marks the 100th anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Second, Purim is just around the corner, and once again, Sisterhood is sponsoring Purim baskets and greetings. What a great year to send a Purim basket to someone else in the congregation. You should have received an email, hopefully with directions, or of course check the website. We're very excited as well to announce the Purim Carnival Drive-By on Wednesday, February 24th. Please come in costume and in the safety of your own car. We'll have carnival games for you. We'll also have a Purim gift bag with groggers, hamantashen, and other treats. On Thursday, February 25th, we'll be having a concert and magic show for children ages 3 to 10 at 4:30 p.m. via Zoom. The Megillah reading and a special Purim singing performance will start at 6 p.m. You may order Purim dinner from Caperberry to enjoy during the Zoom comedy show at 8:30 p.m. That show features the comedy duo, the El Solomons, and there are several mitzvah opportunities for the holiday as well. Information about all of these programs may, of course, be found in This Week at Kol Ami, as well as on the Kol Ami website. Also, I'd like to remind everyone that due to HIPAA regulations, hospital personnel no longer automatically share with us information about congregants in the hospital. So if you or a loved one or someone you know is in a hospital or a rehabilitation center, or anticipate that you will be, please call Jess Lorden at the main office or one of the rabbis or cantor and let us know. It's important for us to be a caring and supportive community, but we can only support you if we become aware. So please help us help you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Every life matters, and so we take time to name each life we remember on the Shabbat. If you are remembering, we invite you to stand at the name of a loved one and to remain standing, imagining all of us standing with you. The Shabbat follows the recent deaths of Steve Sandler, Francis Stein, Marjorie Zeidman, Ken Epstein, George Axt, Ted Adler, Marvin William Norton, and Betty Crocker. If you are in a year of loss and would like to stand, we would like to hold you within our embrace. The Shabbat marks the yortzites of Werner Auerbacher, Lillian Baer, Nathan Burson, Norman Blumstein, Rabbi Eugene Borowitz, Sarah Bistrin, Philip Eugene Chait, Ann Cohen, Jack Davis, Arthur Dorazio, Marilyn Edelson, Shirley Eliash, Ruth Gravitz, Shimmy Greenblatt, Alice Heller, William Kaplan, Harry Klein, Rosalind Kornfeld, Irving Liebman, Michael Moslin, Alexandra Munitz, Rabbi William Orentlicker, Joseph Pear, François Pereire, Sam Rosenblum, Emmanuel Roth, Alfred Schechter, Dr. Stuart Seiden, David Seidman, Hyman Schemmer, Jill Smith, Irv Solomon, Greta Sulzer, Jacob Orszalski, Staniel Weintraub, Derry Wellens, Sidney Wilker, Lawrence Wolf, and Lee Zuckerman. Naming these aloud and naming others in our hearts, we stand together. Turning to page 39, connecting ourselves to the divine presence through the words of the Kaddish. Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yerutei ve'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye jachol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari ve'imru, amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mivarach la'olam ula'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh, ve'yithadar ve'yit'aleh ve'yithalal shemei dekudsha berichu. Le'elam min kol birchata ve'shirata, tushbachata ve'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma ve'imru, amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya, ve'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen.
I hope you're not far away from a glass and something to pour into it. So please fill your glass and we join together in the Kiddush.
I think I'll mark my calendars for next week. It sounds kind of fun. Kiddush.
I'll bring the drinks.
You better. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahavahu v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'asei v'reshit. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים,
כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
L'chaim. So in a moment we sing about the angels of Shabbat who bring in blessing, blessing as they come in and blessing as they go. We take a moment to make sure we are all, each of us, both a blessing to others and that we are blessed. So I invite you to put your arms out, holding people who are with you or imagining the people who aren't all that far away. As we say, Yevarechecha, Adonai, V'yishmerecha. May God bless you and watch over you.
May God bless you and watch over you.
Ya'er Adonai,
Ya'er Adonai,
Panav Elecha,
Panav Elecha,
V'yichuneka.
V'yichuneka.
May the light of God's grace shine on you.
May the light of God's grace shine on you.
Yisa Adonai,
Yisa Adonai,
Panav Elecha,
Panav Elecha,
V'yasem Lecha Shalom.
V'yasem Lecha Shalom.
May God be with you
May God be with you
and bless you with peace.
and bless you with peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu. L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom.